Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with a very special video. This is a review and final diagnosis of my one-of-a-kind, customized 0392 Frunk. This is a bit of an unusual video for me as this is the only knife in this configuration in the entire world. But I thought it deserved a little bit more camera time and a little bit of discussion now that I've had it for a little while. And I think maybe a discussion about the customizer who did this for me, and I think he deserves a lot of attention, and so I'm going to promote him a little bit in this video. No, I'm not paid to do this. Everything that you see in front of you, I paid for of my own money, and so don't worry, I have no conflicts of interest to discuss here. In any case, this knife started out life as a zero tolerance 0392 BLUBOWIE. If you follow my channel, you'll go back and you'll know that I wasn't particularly impressed with the overall finish on that knife. I thought that the color scheme didn't make a lot of sense. There was black DLC on the blade, silver hardware, and blue scales. It just didn't really make any sense. It looked like it had been designed by committee. And so I thought to myself, well, this is a titanium frame lock knife. There are some great customizers out there, so let's send this off and feature one of those guys. So I sent this one to a gentleman named Fanatic Edge. He is on Instagram under that tag. I'll go ahead and include a link to his page down below. I sent him a message through Instagram and I said, "Sir, I have got a knife for you. I would really like to customize this BLUBOWIE." And he said, "Go ahead and send it to me. We'll get it done and we'll make it look awesome." Now, he can do anything from a relatively simple, just a sharpening. He does have a wicked edge. I'm going to hold it like he holds it in his Instagram videos. So he will do, let me see if I can get that to focus the right way. He will do a crazy mirror finished wicked edge on there, which you can see. It is absolutely spectacular. But he will also do a lot of customization on knives, and he sometimes works with a good buddy of his by the name of Adam Purvis, who goes by A. Purvis Blades. He's a custom knife maker on Instagram as well, and they'll sometimes do customizations, but he did a full custom job on this knife. So if you remember, the other knife had all silver hardware. Well, I had him go ahead and make everything green. The standoffs are a neon green. The over travel stop is a neon green. The lock bar fillers are a neon green, and I wanted to keep the green theme going on here, and he did that, but I wanted the BLUBOWIE DNA to kind of come through, and so you can see he went through and re-anodized it with a blue wash, we called it. So he did a green, he stonewashed it, and then he did a blue, or something like that. I'm not sure what his secrets are, but that's about what this looks like. And I really wanted the knife to sort of look a bit like my Curtis F3, and I think that I achieved that here. It certainly got a little bit more blue going on, but that was the point. Sorry about the lighting here, really bright light coming in right now, but just trying to show off these colors and how spectacular this thing looks. So really, really happy with the way that this knife turned out. Very, very thankful to him. Let's break this knife down anatomically and see what we're working with here. We've got a 3.5-inch blade of Bowler M390, now done in a full hand-rubbed satin. So there's a little bit of dust on there. I apologize. But he did a fantastic job of getting that DLC off. He really got all of it off that you really could want. The face of the blade, both front and back, have a beautiful hand-rubbed satin finish on it now, and I'm so happy with that. It looks great. There's a little bit of DLC that remains on the underside right there, and a little bit inside of the jimping, which is fine. It's really not noticeable. In fact, it kind of hides those little angles right there and brings out more of the blade and makes the blade look that much more special. So I don't mind that at all. The blade is extremely smooth. Now that the DLC is all worn off, the action is actually better. So why don't we go ahead and move back to the opening mechanism and the pivot, so it runs on the KVT ball bearing system. The action on this knife is very unique. I think that some of the 0392s, the detents are a lot stronger, and I think it was with the slicer grind blade. So here's my brown gold. The detent on this one is very, very hard, which I like. It allows the blade to really fire out with authority, but every now and again my finger will actually slip off of that. I've got the 0392 black right here. I've added some copper pieces to this one. You can see here how the patina is actually developing on the 0392 Black. This one is still pending a final diagnosis video. I'm actually carrying this one today, so it's got a little bit of dust on it and stuff. You can see that it's starting to develop some marks on the DLC coating right there that won't really go away all that easily. Sorry, my camera's trying to focus here. There's some marks here and there. When I was disassembling the knife, I put a little wear and tear on the pivot back there. That's fine with me. What I'm going to do with this knife ultimately is give it sort of a fallout or beaten and broken kind of a look with a satin finish blade, possibly with a compound grind over at Razor Edge Knives. So stay tuned for stage 2 of the 0392 projects, which will be this guy right here. So everything is nice and smooth on that. This is the one I was talking about, the detents there. So those two knives have very strong detents with that blade. This one has a relatively weaker detent. It will still fire really well, but the weaker detent allows you to do this. So I can actually open that with my thumb. If I'm really careful and strong with my middle finger, I can open it as a spider flick. That's a lot harder to do, and it hurts a lot, but there it goes. It actually opens with a spider flick. So much closer to a Hinderer style detent on that one. And that was true before I actually got it customized as well. The Wharncliffe blades are similar. The original Wharncliffe had a pretty strong detent, but the black Wharncliffe had a looser detent. Really interesting how each one kind of varied a little bit there. Moving on back, we have these beautifully, beautifully done scales. Someone commented on one of my Instagram posts that it looks like he didn't do a good job on the anodizing, but he did a fan-friggin-tastic job anodizing. This was supposed to be you know, a beaten up or aged or antiqued look, a lot like my Curtis. That was sort of my goal, and so I think that he managed to do that perfectly. It allows it to kind of be carried without a lot of worry that it's going to show specific marks because the finish is a bit uneven in all these different spots, and I actually like that a lot. He got a beautiful, beautiful bluish green on the clip, and it looks spectacular. And then he went the extra mile, and he flame anodized the steel hardware. So nothing on this knife went untouched, and I really, really appreciate that about his work. He really paid attention to it. The one drawback I will say is that the knife took about 2 months to come back to me, which is a very long time, but I know that he's a busy guy, and I asked him to do a whole lot to this knife, so I am not upset in any way. I'm extremely grateful and thankful to him for that. And so, without further ado, my final diagnosis is perfection. This is finally the 0392 that it always should have been. I really wish that ZT had gotten a little bit crazier with their designs. Instead, they kind of went in the opposite direction. The end of the line ended up being the BLK, which is just all black. I wonder if they just took some of the scales that weren't perfectly finished and some of the blades that weren't perfectly finished and coated them in DLC and then shipped them out to the public. I have a feeling that that's kind of what happened, that whatever was left in the bin, the imperfects were just painted over black and then sent out to the public. But I really, really wish that they had gone with a bright green or something a little bit crazier, because look at the potential that this knife has, you know. This is just one possible variation. I really hope that more people get the courage to take their 0392s and send them to the customizers so that they can create some spectacular knives. Send it over to Fanatic Edge. If you have a titanium frame lock knife that you're bored with, look him up on Instagram and send that stuff to him, man. He does a great, great job. Now, the second phase of this, I'm going to send this knife over to Josh at Razor Edge Knives and then back over to Fanatic Edge to get sort of a specialized sort of fallout looking finish to it. So really, really excited about that. Loving the way that these knives look and function. So in love with the 0392 line. Just wanted to show this knife to you guys again, get it on video, make sure that everyone can see the amazing work that Fanatic Edge is doing and the potential that's out there. If you look at a titanium knife right now and you're not really that impressed with what it looks like, say it's a gray stonewashed, you know, blob, which a lot of knives are right now, these guys are out there doing fantastic work, and there are others besides Fanatic Edge. So another recommendation is to hop on Instagram. It's an amazing place and forum for knife makers and the knife community. So you can find a whole lot over there. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the 0392 Frunk. Absolutely perfect now that it's sort of customized to my exact specifications. I couldn't be happier with this knife. Very, very thankful to Fanatic Edge for that. Click like and subscribe to my channel Go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Dr. Frunkey. And as always, guys, this is Dr. Frunkey saying take care.